Hello and welcome to a new video in the tutorial series Python for Data Science. In the last video I showed how to create a Python list, and list is another data type in Python and that we can perform many operations on it. So this video is going to be about manipulating the Python list. So after a list is created, we want to access the information inside it. Python uses indexing to do this. I'm using the same list which we had created in the previous video. So the first element in the list has got an index 0, second element index 1, third element as index 2, and so on. Suppose we want to access the score of Ganguly, which is 183, and the sixth element in the list and at an index 5, and so to select it, write 5 in the square bracket, and once we run it, the output will be 183. And similarly, if we want to access the string Ganguly, we will write the index which is at 4 inside the square bracket and print the result. And if we want to access the last element in this list, we will use the index as -1 to print the result. We will write the statement as scores, which is the name of the list, and within the square bracket the index -1, and the output will be 153. And since 153 is the last element in the list, the same result can also be obtained by writing 11 inside the square bracket. Slicing allows us to select the multiple elements from the list and thereby creating a new list. The syntax for slicing is this. Inside the square bracket, we write the starting index and then the ending index, and both are separated by a colon. The starting index is included in the new list and the ending index is not included. We will see how this works in the coming example. So this is the same list which we have been working on. So here's an example. In this, inside the square brackets, the starting index is given as 3 and the end index is given as 9. And according to the syntax, the starting index is included whereas the ending index is not included. So the range of the new list which will be created will be from the third index to the 8th index. And let's check the output. In the output you can see that the new list contains 6 elements, and which were from the index 3 to index 8 in our original list. We can also choose to leave out the index before or after the colon. So here's another example. The index before the colon is left out, and which means that the starting element in the new list will be from the index 0 and the ending index would be index 3. So the newly created list will contain the elements from index 0 to index 3. We can also choose to leave out the index after the colon. So if we choose to leave out the index where the slicing ends, we tell the Python to include all the elements till the end of the list, which also includes the last element. So if we print this statement, we get a new list which has the elements from the index 7 until the last element, which has an index 11 and the value 153. So after creating the list, indexing its values, we can also do manipulation on it. Here we have the same list which we have been using in our previous examples. Changing a value in the list is pretty straightforward. Suppose we want to change the value of 219 to 319. We simply write the index of that element inside the square brackets and assign the new values using the equal to sign. We can also substitute the values in the list. Suppose if we want to substitute Virat Kohli from this list and include Yuvraj Singh and his top score, we use the syntax of slicing the list. Here Virat Kohli is at an index 8 and his top score is at an index 9. So according to the slicing syntax, the value at an index 8 will be, which is Kohli here, will be replaced by the string Yuvraj, and the element which is at an index 9 will be replaced by an integer 139. When we print this list, we see that values at index 8 and 9 have been replaced, and we can also add new values to our existing list. The last element in this list is at an index 11, so if we have to add new values, they would be at an index after 11. So if we decide to add Virat Kohli and his top score back in the list, the elements will be added to the index 12 and 13, and when we print scores in the bracket 12:14, we will get an output where the values Kohli and 183 are added to the end of the list. So that's it for now. I will be adding the code in my GitHub account, and I will post the link in the description below. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.